As requested by some of you guys that want to wear a weave but do not want to leave your hair out or use lace closures, this video is for you. This is how I make my full wig with deep side bangs, no leave out, no closure required. I also did a sewing version on my sister, so if you guys want to see that, please let me know, because it's basically the same concept. One is just done on a wig cap and the other is done on a human head. First thing you need to do is gather your ingredients, of course. So yeah, you're gonna need a wig stand, a wig head. I like to use the styrofoam head. I like to use dome caps for most of my wigs, and threading several needles at a time helps you work faster. The hair that I'm going to be using is by DS Hair Extensions. I'm going to provide the information in the information bar, the length of the hair, the type of hair it is. Everything is going to be in the information bar as always. Before you begin making the wig, you want to put the dome cap on your head to kind of figure out where you're going to start sewing the hair in a circle to close up the wig. And how I like to gauge it is by my eyebrows, the end of my eyebrows. So I just kind of use that to trace up to the cap and draw a line with something visible, because I would like the cap to be concealed while I'm wearing the wig. Like, all you're gonna see is hair. I'm gonna flip the cap inside out first and sew some hair on the band of the cap. Since I'm using different lengths of hair, I'm gonna sew the longest length across the back half of the cap, and I'm gonna sew the shortest length on the front half. After completing the first step, I'm flipping the cap right side up, making sure the marked parts in the front are aligned properly. Then I'm gonna repeat the first step while the cap is right side up. And then I'm gonna continue making the wig by just sewing the hair back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, till I get to where I marked in the front. Then I'll start going in a circle when I get there. People always ask for my sewing technique when I make this kind of videos. So basically, when I want to start off sewing the weft under the cap, I put the needle through the weft in order to secure the thread, and then from then on, I'm not gonna sew through, but I'm gonna sew around, and that's what I'm doing right here. With every stitching that I make, I tie a knot by wrapping the thread around the needle about 2 to 3 times. And when I'm about to tie the knot of the thread, when I run out of thread on one needle, I also sew through the weft. And I always tie my knots about 2 to 3 times to make sure the thread is. To avoid the thread from tangling too much while you're sewing, it's always best to not work with too long of a thread at a time. I usually do an arm's length or less, because when it's too long, you tend to struggle with it, and you know, it's a disaster, and you don't want that. Since I don't like to cut my wefts, I just fold them as I go along, and I make sure to secure it down where it's folded, because you don't want it sticking out.
Wait till you do me, girl. They make my head they swell. Wait till you give me cup, know me. I've been a juju, girl. Whatever you're doing, don't you ever stop, keep it going, girl. Baby, hold me, never let me go. You're my fire, girl. EJ love, EJ.
Now that I've reached the part that I've marked, I'm gonna start sewing the hair in a circle till I close up the circle.
Jiggy jiggy like a railway. Hop on my love boat, baby. Make me sail away. EJ love, Agbaka miss you. I don't they go, gaga go go. Oh, be the jiggy like a railway. Hop on my love boat, baby. Make me sail away.
To make sure the top lays flat, I'm spraying a holding spray on it and then placing a curling wand on top of it or something hot just to press it down and, you know, hold it. And that is the finished wig. Now it's time for styling and cutting, whatever you want to do with it. So there are several options you can use to place the wig on your head, but since I used the dome cap, I can just place the wig on my head and now I'll be good to go. Like, it's pretty secure, it's not going anywhere. You can make a perimeter braid and just sew the wig down on the perimeter of your head and you'll be good to go. Or you can bobby pin it down, which is not really needed because the wig is gonna be pretty tight and secure. Part off your bang and you start cutting it to your desired length. Before I start cutting, I'm straightening the hair first to make sure I see how much hair I need to cut. I'm gonna cut little by little. I'm not gonna just take a big chunk and cut it at a time because I want to avoid mistakes. As I go along, I'm gonna bump it a little bit and see how I like it before I move on to cutting it more and more and more till I get it to my desired look. Don't forget to check the information bar underneath this video because the list of products that I use is going to be provided in there, as well as all of the other information that you might need to know. Alright? Okay, talk to y'all later.